We start the programme in Turkey, where the Prime Minister says they have identified the attacker who killed 32 students on Monday in a suicide attack. Here are some of the young people who lost their lives. They were killed as they held a press conference about their plans to cross into Syria to help rebuild the town of Kobani. Funerals have been held as well in the last few hours in Suruc in southern Turkey, where the explosion took place. The government calling this the first attack by Islamic State on its soil. It has now stepped up security right along the border with Syria. And if we can take you back to yesterday, some of the pictures that really have shocked the country, many of these images appearing on the front page of all the Turkish newspapers. The bomb going off in the middle of a meeting of a group of young socialist Turks and Kurds. In amongst them all were some very shocked people who managed to survive this attack, and they told us what happened.
I was standing on the right. Apparently, I was close to the bomb. Right at that moment, our Federation co-chair thanked members of the media for coming. The news conference was about to finish, and then we heard the explosion. It wasn't really a noise, it was a roar and lights. That's what I remember.
I was taking pictures towards the end of the news conference. It was almost finished. We'd retreated a little bit when we felt the heat, like a ball of fire. Then there was silence, because we lost the ability to hear. We didn't really understand what was going on.
With me here in the studio is Dr. Esra Ozyurek, who is a specialist in Turkey at the London School of Economics. Really devastating pictures today, particularly of the funerals, and now just seeing the faces of those young people. And then we had the protests last night across the country. Not just shock, but anger at the government. Why are people expressing so much rage at President Erdogan?
Yeah, well, over the last years, we have evidence that the Turkish government turned a blind eye to Islamic State actors going through Turkey. We know a lot of activists from Europe went to Turkey. There are allegations that arms have been passed, money has been, they have been treated in Turkish hospitals. Some HDP party officials accused the government working closely with the Islamic State against them.
So they're actually saying the government collaborates with Islamic State?
Yes, exactly, that they have the same ideas, and then they're really against a strong Kurdish state in order to prevent that, and also against the Assad regime. So that, I think, is difficult to know at this point, but I think it is correct to say that the Turkish state definitely turned a blind eye to these people and made it possible for them to act as they wish. And now the war is also in Turkey, not only in Syria and in Iraq.
I mean, what can the government do now? Because they, of course, would vehemently deny that they collaborate with Islamic State. They've said now they're stepping up security on the border with Syria. But what can they do to try and control this kind of influence in the country?
Yeah, I guess now so much happened. You know, we have lots of Islamic State cells in Turkey, so many activists in Turkey. But yeah, definitely one could make the borders tighter, really act against them rather than...
we will see the government cracking down on these cells now?
That is what we would expect to see. Actually, lately there has been some action against the Islamic State. Another interpretation is that now the Islamic State felt that their collaboration with Turkey is weakening, and that is why they attacked. So it is a little bit of a gray zone. It is open to all kinds of interpretations. But yeah, just to say that now war is also in Turkey.
And are people fearful about that across the country? Because of course they've been dealing with the thousands of refugees for a long time, but now that they're actually seeing this violence on their own soil, are they worried that things are going to get worse?
Yes, exactly. And then we know that there are Islamic State cells everywhere in Turkey, a lot in Istanbul, throughout the country. So such things can happen anywhere.
Okay, Doctor, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.